Alcia, what's up, beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina for short, or Divine Star Seed. This message is focused on who's lying to you. Why are they lying? That's what I heard last night. I just channeled a message and it was, who's lying? Who's lying? So we're going to do a pick a card for it to find out who's lying to you and why. You have an option between 3 decks. You have deck 1, 2, and 3. You can pause the video to take a moment to really meditate on the images. I recommend that you close your eyes. You inhale for the count of 4. Hold the breath for 4 and slowly release it for 4. Do that as many times as you need to until you feel grounded, centered, and then choose your pile. You could be drawn to more than one, and that is absolutely fine. Remember that this is a collective reading, so only take what resonates to and for you. Separate your opinion from your intuition. Peace, love, and light. I'll see you at your pile. All right, pile 1. You chose the Mermaid Tarot. Your reading is going to have something to do with emotions and feelings. Okay, so hurt feelings, maybe bruised ego, bruised pride. This could be the reason the person hurt you, or this could be why you took offense to something they did. Always got to be open and honest with yourself as well. Maybe you did something intentionally, maybe you did something unintentionally, but it led to whatever this situation is here. So we're going to hop into it and find out who this person is that lied to you and why. We're going to start off with the who. Who lied to you? Interesting. Who lied to you, pile 1? Why? Why did they lie? Why? Okay. Okay. All right, pile 1. The person who lied to you is represented here in the Empress. Okay, so this is a person that would normally come off very confident. They're probably very attractive. There's something about the exterior look not necessarily matching the inside. So even though this is the Empress, and sometimes the Empress can give off the vibe of very bold beauty, it is Venus energy. I mean, truthfully, when we think of Venus and the fact that the planet has all these, well, supposed to have all these volcanoes, right? There's this idea that those who have the beauty of Venus must be really bold, dynamic, sharp features. But I'm seeing somebody more soft. So they probably look fairly innocent. They probably don't look as enticing as most people would assume a Venus energy would look like. There's a softness here, but it doesn't match the inside. Inside, they're not as soft. They're more rigid, more, rugged kind of personality and kind of inner works here. This person is going through some type of mental anguish here. Something's hurting them. So on the outside, especially if they're popular, they have a tendency of putting on an air a little bit here. Like, oh, everything's cool with me. I have it all. I got all the luxuries. I'm the Empress. Empress represents confidence. But inside, not so confident. Inside, constant anxiety. This person may actually have like anxiety issues, but they cover it up very well. They hide it very well. All right. They wouldn't fit the standard ideal of what that is. Why did they lie to you? Why did they lie? We have the 3 of Wands and the 5 of Wands here. So it feels like they lied to you because there's something that they feel they deserve more than you. There's something that they feel like they were entitled to. You kind of came in. So this could have been something like working at a job and you get the position they thought they deserved because they've been there longer or they had more experience. And it just boiled down to who could execute the task the best. Who could actually bring in the results. Sometimes it's not always about who's been in a location for longer, or especially if this is like somebody that brought you into this position or this job or this atmosphere. I feel like it involves multiple people, so it could actually be like a group, like a little clique. Like, I brought you into this clique and now they're liking you more, or they're hanging out with you more. What's that all about? And it's not like you're trying to steal anybody away from this person, but it's, how is it that you just got here and you're getting all of the shipments, you're getting all of the stuff in that I've been working for and trying to manifest for the longest time. And this person, again, on the outside can come off really confident, really secure of themselves. They have a soft beauty to them. Okay. But on the inside, they go through anxieties, they go through stress, they go through worries, and half of the time it's something of their own making. You know what I mean? Something really positive can happen, and in their head, they're thinking of how it can go wrong, how it can go negative. All right? They tend to be in a more depleted state than not. This could have something to do, I'm hearing, go the long way, go the long way. This person sometimes might like to take a lot of shortcuts, and you take your time, you're patient. The Three of Wands isn't always about standing still. You know, you come out the house, you walk the road, you go to where you need to be to stand at that cliff to receive what's necessary. This person probably always looks for shortcuts. Like, no, there has to be, not that there's anything wrong with a justified shortcut, and that's going to depend on everybody's situation, what that is. But when you waste time in trying to cut corners, more so than a shortcut, like you're trying to cut a corner, not all corners can be cut. Not all things are going to bear good results by doing that. And this person, that's why they're always in constant conflict inside. That's why they're always cut up inside. Sometimes they try to do something in a way that's causing more harm than good, and then they agonize over it. Like, why didn't that work out? I don't understand. How did they just get here and it worked out? If this isn't work, right, then it's something both of you might have been manifesting. You know how some people have manifestation groups? It could be something that you were both working on, and you think, oh, like, this is cool. We both have like the same kind of drive. But in reality, they don't like someone beating them to a punch, getting ahead of them. They're in competition with you, but I feel like you don't really know it. Now, you might have an idea as you listen to this reading who this is, especially as features are described. It doesn't matter if this person is masculine or feminine. They have like a soft look to them. They could look like a pretty girl, pretty boy kind of image, even though they're a full-grown adult. But if they open their mouth, you know how rough they are. You get what I'm saying? They might talk a certain kind of slang. Because I keep feeling like I want to do an accent, and I'm just not in the mood to channel accents right now. But they could have like a New York accent, Chicago, because I'm here in Chi-Town, so they could be from Chicago. It's like you're rough around the edges, but if I just looked at your face and you were just walking down the street, I might think you're the sweetest person in the world. That might give you an idea of who this person is. But even if they give you a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of a problem, I don't think you believe it's as much of an issue as it truly is. Like, they're really in this make-believe competition with you because they're the only one competing. You're not even participating. They're the only one. They might be trying to get people to kind of gang up on you a bit, like talk behind your back to someone and get a bunch of people to agree, like, oh yeah, they think they're better than me. You know, they that kind of issue. They don't like being left out. They don't like feeling left out. They don't like feeling as if they're not a part of the story. They're not a part of the crowd, right? We have 5 here, 5 here. This person goes through a lot of challenges. They have a lot of incomplete patterns in their system and in their destiny, but it's their fate. They choose to live a very fated life instead of a very inflow destined life. Now, how this may compare to you is you too, because a lot of times what people are lying to you about and what's happening over there, there's something in the reflection of that's going on either within yourself or in your situation. It's not an exact mirror. Sometimes it's like a warning. Sometimes it's saying, hey, because you're in a negative feeling, because you feel depleted or depressed right now, it's opening the door to this kind of animosity coming in. Because you don't peep it right away. Or maybe you'll even ignore it. Like, you might be thinking to yourself, yeah, that person can be a little bit of a but it's not that bad. It's like an annoying chihuahua. It's, it's just, they hate you one minute, they love you the next minute. And you're letting a lot of things slide that shouldn't be allowed to slide. Maybe you know their inner pain. Maybe you know the inner struggle and stress that they go through. But they're not allowed to use their stress as a means to give you a problem. You understand what I'm saying here? But this in the third row here, a lot of times in this type of reading can end up representing not only the person that's lying and why they're lying, but how it connects and pertains to you. With this Five of Cups, they don't like feeling left out. You might also be someone who you might go do your own thing on occasion, but you don't like feeling as if people are personally excluding you from things, because it's like, well, what did I do? I didn't do anything. You like connections. You like linking up with people. This is somebody that you might have known for years. And that's another reason you tolerate a certain level of their behavior. So your own feeling of either not being good enough or I don't like to be excluded is reflecting in their actions, in the sense that it gave space for it to happen to you without you either peeping it right away, or like I said, because you've known them for a long time, you're allowing it. Let's get into a deeper look at what their problem is. We're going to be using What the F is the Problem by Fire Witch. And this is focused on their energy, okay? Their energy. Let's see, what's their problem here? You wished for it, remember? You wished for it, remember? Okay, I already see where this is going, but let's get the other cards out. You need more healing. Yep, going exactly the way I feel. Yep, this is aligning with what I'm seeing and sensing, feeling from this person. You need a dose of a man. You need a dose of man the fuck up. Okay, we're going to start here because each one of these play out like that. With the you wished for it, they get a lot of attention. Okay, they also tend to want to manifest a lot of things. But again, like I said, they cut corners. They'll wish for something. Oh, I wish to be noticed. I wish for people to think I was kinder. I wish for blah, 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 blah. Center of attention kind of energy. Even sometimes for good deeds, but for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be popular and known for like coming in and helping a homegirl or a homie out. But my intent behind it is just the popularity, not the actual helping them for real, for real. So when they start getting in their rewards quicker than I do, oh yeah, I want credit for getting you hired for that job. Like, oh yeah, I got my friend into that position, blah, 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 blah. But the moment you start doing too good, you getting all the praise that they feel they should have because they've been there longer, it's like, nah, chill. You know your place. Which makes no sense for them to even think, but it's what they think. And so Spirit looks at them like, but didn't you wish to be the person that was known for helping somebody like that? Or didn't you wish to be that popular? Again, they create their own burdens. Didn't you wish to cut corners? You know that expression, be careful what you ask for? This person doesn't like that when you wish upon a star, it comes right in. When they do it, it's all these complications and problems and roadblocks. But the complications, problems, and roadblocks are of their own making. So they're purposely going out of their way to get in front of you. No good. They're doing this because we see how they're inside. They're all messed up. They're all stressed out, right? They need a lot of healing. You need a lot of healing too, because there's a reason that you were tolerating this behavior to the extent that you were. You see that reflection? You got your own things that you wish for. And sometimes you might put up with behavior you don't need to. It's like, we're in a time where people are starting to realize that that concept of work hard until you're half dead for somebody else that don't give a ish about you, that will replace you 2 days from now, it's not the business. It should have never been the business, right? But it was taught to the older generation, so the older generation kept teaching it and teaching it and teaching it. If it wasn't a taught behavior, no one would do it. It is not in our natural makeup to be that way. So sometimes you've allowed yourself to be ran into the ground. Yeah, you work hard. Yeah, you take the long way, right? And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. It all depends. But it's like well, that's what you have to do. My mama worked hard. My daddy worked hard, blah, blah, blah. You're meant to work smarter, not harder. You're meant to be honest in what it is you do and authentic in what it is you do, and learn to do it to the best of your ability and beyond, should the stars align for you to. But you're not meant to be a doormat. You're not meant to kiss someone's behind so that you can get ahead. And it's not something that you would pride yourself on doing, but if you evaluate it right now, there are probably moments when you did it, and that's how this person was able to have that kind of influence. To be able to kind of come in and even think that they could talk to you flip. Oh, that's just how they talk. I don't care who you are. Talk to me sideways, you get handled. It's just that simple. Now, you can get handled the nice way or the hard way, but there will be a handling. Sometimes I ain't got to do nothing. The ancestors and the guys will take care of it for me. They know they don't want me involved. There's a reason. Respect is due a dog is the expression. Respect is due any and everything. And if a person feels like in order to feel better about themselves, they have to just bluntly disrespect you and call that, oh, that's, that's how I talk, girl. Like, nah. They're in competition with you and trying to turn people against you because you can see beyond. You look towards the future. They're always stuck looking at what's right in front of them. They can't seem to have that projected. No, that's a part of manifestation. This has a lot to do with something about manifesting, something about creating. They're not good at seeing and feeling what it is that they're trying to draw in. You're better at that. So you get things a little quicker. It might feel like it takes some time. And maybe if you trust in yourself a bit more, it wouldn't. Because you would know when to take the long way and when to take a shortcut. But in their case, they're always cutting a corner way too sharp. There's a lot of healing that's needed for both of you. And what they want to do and want to accomplish is kind of reflected in you. And your fears or doubts or the things that you sometimes allowed is reflected in them with their actions. We have, you need a dose of man the F up. Fears, doubts. I don't want to be left out. I want to be able to join the party. There's the bridge right there. Nobody is stopping this. There's the bridge. And since this is a mermaid, there's the water. She could literally wiggle her behind around these cups and get in that water. She don't have to sit here lost and abandoned on land. She can go by waterway. She can go by the bridge. It's up to her. She can go under the bridge above it. It's all up to her, but she's just sitting there. He or she is just sitting there like, oh, look at all my wasted effort. Look at all the wasted effort I did. When is somebody going to come and help me? When is someone going to notice, hey, I'm here. I have gifts I can give people. Sometimes the 6 of Cups can represent gifts that are tied to emotional bonds or strong connections. There's a lot of inner child healing that needs to be done here. And I feel like you guys might be childhood friends. Maybe preschool. Maybe as far back as preschool, maybe you met in high school. I'm more so picking up people who would have met each other when they were really young. So before college, or maybe right at the very, very beginning of college. But it's a connection that goes back years for some of you. For others, it could just be a person that you felt like a kindred spirit with. But there's a need for them to man up and do the work. Work smarter, not harder, but do the work. And for you, it's stop allowing people to walk all over you, talk to you any old kind of way. Settle for crumbs. Yeah, you bring in a lot of your manifestations, but imagine how much more you could bring in if you weren't settling for this negative energy. Let's close this reading out. We're going to be using these decks. The links to all the decks are going to be in the description. This is one of her latest ones, inspired by Hocus Pocus. Look at that. What I tell you about those changes? They had a 5 and a 5. What I tell you? And remember, the third row can represent not only a bit of the person that lied, but a lot of whom they're lying to. So a lot of this over here is representing you and how you feel when they treat you a certain way. How far back the connection goes, how they feel. Neither one of y'all like to feel excluded or just purposely left out of something or purposely done wrong. But over here, we have who they are. They're the Empress. They could be someone who acts like a mother, acts like an aunt. They could be a mom or aunt. Let's just be real. The Empress is the mother vibe. Somebody with like a mama bear, big auntie, big cousin, big sister kind of vibe. Okay. We have 555 here. Fake info. Something about fake info and rejection. Look at that. Rejection. Like giving a fake number, giving fake praise, acting fake to someone. I'm not even hungry and my stomach just growled. This person's always hungry. They're never full, but that's a part of the Empress is somebody that's meant to be abundant, meant to be able to just like snap their fingers, boom, bam, it's there, it exists. This person has the capability, but because that inside ain't matching, that inside is in constant stress, constant worry, wishing bad upon others brings it upon themselves. Wishing to obtain things without actually putting in the work bears them no sweet fruit, and it causes for them to feel rejected by people, rejected by the stars, rejected by this. This is probably somebody that complains a lot. Not just vent, not just talk, bona fide complaining. Because sometimes people mistaken someone just venting as a complaint, and that's effed up. But this is different. This is like somebody who goes, yeah, well, I could have had that, but then so-and-so did this to me. Well, I could have went there, but my husband, my boyfriend, my cousin 3 times removed got in the way. It's always someone else's fault. And even if it was, there's no realization of, but didn't you allow that to some extent? Didn't you allow that person to take advantage like that to some extent? How are you just always the victim? Like you can be, but wouldn't that mean that you're putting yourself in the position to be at some point? That is the reality that most people who feel like this don't take time to notice. How many dark alleys you have to walk down? How many times you got to keep making friends with a person who clearly is going to do you dirty? You can sense it in the makeup before you realize, oh, you're allowing this. You allow this person to sometimes get away with things, but this person instantly goes into, I can be a villain because I'm always the victim. And that's it's no good. It's no good. It's very fake. That means that they're never really being 100. As much as they feel rejected, they're rejecting their own blessings. We have autumn, harvest, abundance, change. What I tell you about that 3 of Wands, them ships coming in, right? But this person wanting to be in competition with you, always feeling challenged, and so therefore they have to challenge another. But there's all this abundance that could be tapped into. There's a lot of change that needs to happen for the both of you. Look at this, 555. We have 5s here. A lot of this might have come to a head starting in like the end of September. You're going to be seeing this in October. Maybe you're going to know the more that you listen to this, who this is about. This is giving you insight to confirm some things, but I also feel like it's giving you a heads up of whether or not this person is going to get their ish together. Both of you have something that you need to man up about. Maybe you need to man up and say, look, the man energy is an outward expression. Okay? That's what masculinity, being a man, it's outward expression. If you keep holding something in and this person just keeps getting away, it's not saying you have to argue with them, but you can let them know very calmly, I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like that. I can deal with you or I cannot. I have a saying, and my saying is, there was a time I didn't know you. I can return. I ain't got to wish you good. I ain't got to wish you bad, because before I knew who you were, I wasn't wishing you anything anyway. I'm giving you a moment of silence so you can really let that sink in. Because that may be what you have to do with this person. You may have to tell them straight up like that. I love you. We go back a ways. There's a bond here. But clearly you're not taking that bond seriously. You're lying to me or lying on me, pretending to be a friend, but you're not acting like a friend. You're overstepping bounds. You're overstaying a welcome at this point. And if you need to go, I will show you the door. It's right there. Can't miss it. Big, bright yellow door. Okay? We got full moon. Completion. Relinquish. Weirdos. Full moon, full circle. Secrets being revealed. This October, this November, because I feel like Scorpio season is important and we have the autumn vibration here. You already probably know who this is. A more detailed description of why they're lying to you and what they're lying about is going to be revealed to you. It's up to you whether or not you pay attention to it. It's one of those things where it's like you can choose to keep kind of putting on blinders, or you can choose to see. This message went in a direction that I wouldn't have naturally expected it to go in, but that's what happens when channeling messages like this. When channeling this kind of energy, you have a lot of abundance and rewards coming to you. and this person is lying and wanting you to feel lesser than, or lying to you about opportunities. Like if some of you might work with this person, or and you might deal in, again, I keep picking up manifestation, you might work in metaphysics type of business together, right? And they act like they know so much, and there's probably a lot that they do know, but they use what they know against you a lot of times because of this inner pain. And while you can feel for them, you can empathize with them, you can want them to heal, it's up to them to do it. But healing is necessary for this conflict to stop, because they're lying to people about you. They're lying to you, and they're lying to people about you. Like, yeah, so-and-so act like they did this, that, and the third, but really, they're going to get caught in those lies. Pile 1, that was your message. I pray that it brings you whatever clarity that you need. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul. Okay, Pile 2, it's your turn. You chose the Pythia Tarot. I did a quick flip through of this deck on my channel if you're curious about it. This is a Greek goddess oracle themed deck. We're going to see what it is going on here in your situation with who lied to you and why. This could have something to do actually with past life. Now, if it does, this isn't a past life reading, so I wouldn't dive too deep into that, but I would let you know if there's a connection here, because there's something about ancient times that's standing out in the vibration of this. So we'll see where the energy goes as we channel it through, okay? Who lied to you? Pile 2. Who lied to you? Pile 2. Who lied? A craftsman, someone who crafts. Who lied to you? Oh boy. Okay. Why did they lie? Why? Okay. Let's look deeper. Look deeper. This person is someone really crafty. And I mean, while they could be some type of artist, I feel like they're more so, I want to say slick. You know how some people like, that person think they real slick. No, this person knows they slick. They they know they slick. They're very crafty. They could actually be some type of artist, because they keep having me look at how this person is painting. But instead of painting on a jar, I'm seeing, it's not a canvas. It's like, it's actually not paint. The closer, let me zoom in on what I'm seeing here. Like a carving, like chiseling away at something. For some reason, I'm also hearing glass work. This person's job, like their employment, could be dealing in some type of crafting, like working in the craft section of a business, or something with the design, particularly like architecture, because I'm seeing like chiseling away, shaping something, molding something. That also means that they're crafty, and with this craft energy, at molding things to appear a certain way that it may not be. Make something look more valuable than it is, and vice versa. Maybe even make something look weaker than it is, right? They have a very attractive energy to them. It's like things just shine on them. It just flows into them. You see how this person's playing music, and that's making me think of weave a tale. Weave a tale. We have truth and prosperity. This actually is truth and prophecy. I believe that this is a little low. This is Apollo energy. Apollo can be a little cocky. You know what I mean? Like very confident, very self-assured. I love Apollo's energy, but sometimes like Apollo be doing too much. And that's probably what goes on with this person. It's like they have a loving energy. Sometimes they just do a little too much, and they can be a bit slick. I'm not hearing sneaky. Some of you might identify the person that you envision as being sneaky. There is a difference between slick and sneaky. They can be very similar, but the intention behind them is different. The reason that they're normally doing whatever it is very different. Like sometimes you might be slick to get out of trouble. You might be sneaky to take from someone. You get what I mean? Like this person is probably always seeming like they're ending up in something. They are giving me a little bit of like a little bit of too playful, like a child let out to play. This could actually be someone's son or nephew who just like, why are you always playing these games? You're going to keep playing around, boy, you're going to get in trouble. Or girl, you're going to get in trouble. I heard boy first, but it could be a girl too. Like, okay, all right, gal. It's very southern. Gal. Keep on playing, gal. You're going to get in trouble. So this person could be southern or you could be southern. Something about the cows coming home. When the cows come home, when pigs fly, this person might be, again, they weave tales. It's like, I'm weaving you a tale, but it sounds really creative, right? Now let's see why they lied. We have, this is interesting too, because you have the sun here as a measure and you have the hermit as a measure. But we have the Knight of Cups and the Hermit. This person, there's something that this individual wanted to deliver on, but it's quite possible that what they wanted to deliver on was already not fully what it seems. In other words, they might have hyped something up, like made it seem bigger than what it really was. And then it came time to like, okay, well now you have to show me. You have to show what you're talking about here. And when it came time to really convey and show what that was, they didn't have nothing. The Knight of Cups sometimes can come in very like, it's not the here I come to save the day that the Knight of Swords has, but it's like, look at me. Aren't I grand? Like, just look at me. Aren't I grand? I could give you anything. Like, what is it that you want from me? I could give you love, adventure, excitement. Oh, look at how beautiful I am. Look at how beautiful you are. Like, with this slick energy, this is someone who, when they lie to you, they butter you up. You know, make you feel like they're everything, but also make you feel really good. Like, I'm going to butter you up to get something that I want from you. Something that I need from you requires me making you get so comfortable and feel so lax, like a child that can talk their mommy into giving them some money for some ish shit. Oh boy, don't go spending that on, but they did. As soon as you gave them the money, they went and they spent it on that thing you told them not to. I also feel like this person may have a tendency of cutting you off, because I don't normally like that. I don't like when it's talk and then it cuts halfway, and that just happened. This person kind of, but it's done in a flirtatious kind of way, or in a very, oh, but listen, don't get mad, listen, I got something to tell you. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna calm you down before I ask for some ish that I know I shouldn't ask for. You're gonna tell me not to do something with it, I'm gonna go do it anyway. Feelings are involved in this, you know, weaving a tale, playing on feelings, being really crafty, find themselves slick. That's the energy of this person. There's something they feel like they're running out of time with, because I keep being made to notice time. Like, I'm running out of time. I have to achieve this or accomplish this before it's too late. They might think that they're smarter than everyone because of that slick energy, like sometimes feeling like a bit of a know-it-all. I always say pay attention to where the lantern is when you're looking at the Hermit card and you're channeling, and see what comes out. The lantern is by this person's side, almost near the ground. The lantern is meant to be the guiding compass. It's meant to take you where you have to go. It's like the light on the tower. And if it's down there, you're not seeing what you need to across a bigger land. This person is trying to keep you from seeing something. It's like, I'm going to distract you with my flirting, with everything else, because your instincts might be telling you something's going on here and they need to buy time. So it's like, don't look at the light. No, the light's back here. Keep your eyes down here. You don't need to look up. Keep your eyes down here. Down here. This also means they're lying to themselves about something. Again, for someone, this could be a son, a nephew. For some of you with the Knight of Cups here, could be, a love interest. I'm not sensing a strong relationship here. I'm not picking up something like, yeah, we're married or we're dating already. It's not that deep yet. We have the golden apple over here. The golden apple of discord for the fairest. There's, as much as this person does carry like a crafty energy, maybe sometimes they lie about working on things that they're not. Procrastination. That's not normally the energy of the Eight of Apples, aka Eight of Pentacles. But this person kind of has this, you have the talent to do it, but they just don't do it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I could do that. I'm going to get on that. They never get on that. They're too busy frolicking around, playing, weaving tails, being slick somewhere else till the cows come home. It's like that person will really put their talents on display when the pigs fly. You know what I mean? Like, and there's something really country about this person. Like this, I'm from the woods kind of vibe with the people who talk to this person. Maybe it's you, maybe it's them. It could just represent, the country can represent open space, right? A lot of space. This person has a lot of space to do more than what they do. There's room to grow, but they kind of just frolic along. And there's something that maybe is really important to you that they should be working on, and they're too busy like flirting and being distracting and look at me, be distracted by how pretty I am, pretty, kind of like pretty man, pretty boy, pretty girl kind of vibe, but in a funny way. They might try to make you laugh. It's something about distracting you. It won't leave. You can't, I'm gonna show you this hand because you can't see this one. They should have their wisdom right at the forefront, but they keep putting it down at the bottom, and they don't want you to peep that. They don't want you to peep that they're neglecting their own inner wisdom like that. So they put the lantern down here so that you can get distracted. You're looking down when you should be looking up, because whatever they're lying about, it's right in front of your face. It's very, very visible. You're just not paying attention. The third row can tend to represent not only, and sometimes, guys, if I'm quiet, it's because I'm channeling and I'm tapping deeper in. This row a lot of times can not only represent the person who lies, because we have what it's about, and more of their description actually is a lot. That's why I feel like they're lying about something, not only to themselves, but about themselves, because both of these rows still feel heavily like it's describing them on top of the lie. But over here can also represent you. And a lot of times what a person's getting away with, getting over your head, has something to do with you. It's a mirror. But remember, mirrors aren't always an exact reflection. Sometimes a person is showing you, hey, there's a vibration that you're giving space to, and this person's able to tap in because of that, or they're able to lie because of that. This person may not mean you no harm. They really don't. But they have a deep-rooted fear. And their fear is somehow not being dealt a fair hand, not being able to receive the trophies, always being left out in the cold, abandoned. This person may have abandonment issues. You could have abandonment issues. If this person is someone's son or nephew, you could have I gotta say that when the words come out my mouth, that's just what's channeling in. Apply what applies to you, to whom it applies to for you. But if someone had a nephew or a son that maybe they deal with feeling a little bit abandoned by you, or abandoned by another parent, or something of that nature, they hide it behind a lot of slickness. They hide it behind a lot of, look at me, I'm so great. I'm doing so much because I'm so great. Like I said, Apollo's amazing. He can be extra sometimes. It's like Apollo have a seat on an occasion. He don't know how to have a seat. You know what I mean? He's the son. He don't know how to have a seat. It's something of like this person when they were a kid probably used to always run circles around someone. But a lot of what they do is to cover up that I feel lost. I feel kind of lost, and I don't know what to do with this lost feeling. So I hide it behind other things. That way you won't notice how much I'm actually feeling kind of left out in the cold, abandoned at the moment. This is really dealing with deep-rooted I'm ass out kind of vibes, and it might affect their money on occasion. Because as I look at this golden egg and the sparkles around it, I see coins. I see a lot of coins. They probably think that you get dealt a better hand than them. And you might be thinking, man, I go through struggles. I go through issues. I don't have everything. Everything's not perfect all the time. But when they look in your window, they see their golden apple. Okay. I understand the card says what it says, but the word, the fairness, or like fairest, is standing out to me. Like they think it's not about fairest as in like skin tone. It's like fairness is what I'm hearing. You seem to get dealt a better hand. And you have even when you are going through something good, something that you might do that's reflecting in this person is you focus on the wrong ish. You focus on what you're out of instead of focus on what's coming in and what you're trying to draw in. There's support. There's a helping hand. Notice this person is leaning on this individual for support right here. And this person is carrying the faith. As much as this one's praying and as much as this one's trying to lean on, the place that'll give them shelter is right here. If she would just open her eyes. It's like a person who prays and prays and prays and prays, but never opens their eye to receive the blessing that comes through the prayer. You're simply asking, sometimes going maybe to the border of begging, but you never say, wait a minute, I'm already born divine, from a divine source, from a divine power. That same thing that I'm sitting here leaning on, and maybe at one point in time I needed to lean on, I can simply say, wait, this is my birthright. It's my birthright to have this abundance. With authenticity, with kindness, with care. Let me go ahead and bring that in. Instead, it's always, please, please let it work out. Please, please, please. This person doesn't see that struggle. This person leans on you thinking you got it made. But both of y'all are walking past the place that could give you shelter, that could give you warmth. Right there. The prize. This feels like a spiritual prize. Like an enlightened thing, which fits with this hermit energy, an inner wisdom, the inner light, showing you when you think you're in the darkest of the dark, you are the sun, you are the star, you are that light. This person's so talented, entertaining even. They hide behind other stuff out of fear. You can't see how like depressed I actually am. I can't let you know how much I feel like I'm struggling every day. I need to lean on you, and that's why they come to you, and that's what they're hiding. That's a part of what they're lying about. So they come and they put up this wall, and you should be noticing, wait, why is your light near the floor? That's not where your feet can glow all they want to, but why is your lantern, aka your wisdom, your star, on the floor? What's going on with that? But instead of you peeping that that's what's going on, it's like, oh, look at the flashlight. And then up here is in their face is all the other stuff. Whatever the problem is right in front of you, darling. It's right in front of you. Let's go just a little deeper. Strength card. The Oracle herself. Or their self coming out. And the Two of Cups. There's so much more to this person. And so much more to you. And it's like you both kind of lie to yourself to some capacity. You might admit your talents more than they do. I feel like they're a person that people might always say, oh my gosh, you're so talented. And they go, yeah. But inside it's like, it's all right. Yeah. They play it down. Let me hide behind being goofy. Be goofy. Do some other stuff. There's strength in vulnerability. There's strength in being able to admit that you don't always feel like you have it together. For both of you. There's strength in admitting that sometimes you don't know what to do. You don't know what to say. But you tap into the inner wisdom to figure it out. You can't always have your eyes closed on your knees simply just praying. It's nothing wrong with prayer. But prayer is meant to be more so affirmation. It's not meant to just be something that's said and that's it. It's something that must be acted upon. It must be done. You want healing? You must heal. You need some cha-ching ching bling bling. You got to go out and get it. It can't just be I sat here and that's it. Things will come to you, but they come to you based on the vibration that you're carrying. This person, especially if they're someone young that you take like a son, a niece, a nephew, a sibling of some kind. They could also be a person that's a lover. They're not whole right now. They feel like a house without a home, if you understand that expression. And so they lean on you, which can sometimes deplete you even more. And you might be the person that just goes, well, I'll pray about it. I'll give them a little advice and I pray about it. And it makes it difficult for them to see their strengths. It makes it difficult for you to see your strengths. Pau, this energy here, I don't believe this person means you malice, to be honest. Like, yes, they're trying to distract you. But it's because they don't want you to see inside them. You know what I mean? They don't want you to tap into them. It's like you're the key that can unlock, and they're kind of afraid of what would happen if something got unlocked. They're afraid of being abandoned. They're afraid of what if I put my effort in? What if I put that effort in? What if I took my skills that I've learned over the years and I actually apply them, and then it still doesn't work out? Something still fails. I'd rather move around. There's that cow reference again. I'd rather just move around. I'd rather just kind of like come in and be all like attractive and alluring at first and seem so wise and so great, but really I'm hiding all of my fears. I don't let my light shine as much as it really could. I allow the shadows in more than I do the day. And there's an opportunity to really connect. There's an opportunity to really be more enlightened, more aligned. But I walk away from that, and that's you. They don't tell you everything that they're going through. A part of their lie is pretending that they're more happy than they are, and y'all just call it slickness, because I feel like you too would describe them that way. But there's a lot more to that so-called slickness. There's an inner strength that needs to be tapped into here, and it hasn't been. And we have the oracle of depth. There's more depth to this person than their looks and their jokes and their banner. There's more to them than that. There's more to you than that. They're reflecting back to you something within yourself that you're afraid of seeing out of the fear of what if it's not enough? What if? We have the two of cups here. You guys are more connected than not. I'm still not necessarily, some of you might say, well, that could be my husband, that could be my this, my that. If there's a connection here, I feel like it's more family based. Even if it's a friend, it's like a friend that feels like a brother, a sister, But for some of you, this could just be somebody who that if you were in alignment with, sky's the limit. Go to the stars, go to the moon. But the hold up here is things aren't done together. Things aren't done together. This is also signifying you guys needing to become balanced within yourselves. The yin and yang within yourselves needing to be balanced. Let's dive a little bit deeper into their problem. We're going to be using the What the F is the Problem deck by Fire Witch. I feel like I'm picking up on a very distinct, very specific few here. So really pay attention to what's resonating to you, for whom it's resonating, because I kind of feel like if I had to separate this, it would be in 3 or 4 parts for like 3 or 4 very distinct people. It can all be together for one, right? It could all be what's happening with one individual. You might have to listen to this a few times to really grasp like the full message, but it was important for you to realize that this person that seems so slick and seems so goofy and don't take life seriously is actually dealing with a sadder issue, a not accepting their own inner glow, their own inner strength. They kind of hide behind it. They come off sometimes really prideful, or and I'm not getting mean pride per se, but just like, don't let your pride get you in trouble kind of vibe. Like, don't let your silliness get you in trouble, and don't let your pride get you in trouble. And again, there's something about the country, or having like a country accent, being from the South. What's their problem? What's their problem? Yeah, see, look at that. You know it's bad for you, yet you continue. They know what they're doing is not good for them. This lack of tapping in properly, this playing around all the time, being slick, not putting their talents to good use, but kind of using it for like silly things. They know that's bad, but they do it anyway. So now the reflection, because this row makes you reflect, what are you doing that's of a similar thing? It may not be the same, it may not be exact, but you know it's bad for you. You allow it anyway. It's reflecting in this person to some capacity. Don't let it consume you. I feel like that's self-explanatory after everything I just said. Stop being closed off. Look at that. When the energies want to confirm upon confirm upon confirm, they're kind of leaning on you, but they don't want you to know that. They don't really want you to know that they're reaching for you like that. Your eyes closed. Take it how it resonates. Maybe you're leaning on them. Maybe they're the person with the eyes closed and this, like, just put everything on faith. Faith is an action, my love. It's a feeling and it's an action. It's not just a phrase and then woo, look at what happens. Miracles happen every day, but those miracles come from people taking small steps or big steps, not just standing still. Okay? And for this person, they ignore things. The ignoring ain't helping nobody. Ignoring the problem doesn't make it magically go away. Ignoring the pain doesn't make you magically heal. It just means that it gets buried deeper and deeper and deeper down until it becomes something bad. It becomes a trait that's no good. There's connection that's needed here. Communication, understanding each other that's needed here. But both of you are not only closed off to some capacity for yourself. If this is someone's kid, you need to nip this in the bud. A real conversation needs to happen. But you need to be open. You have to hear them out. You have to hear what they're telling you they're feeling. Just like they got to be willing to hear what you feel, but you got to understand, if you're the parent or the adult of the situation, even if they're old now, like even if they're an adult themselves now, you can't look at them and go, what was me, 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 and so that's why I did what I did or said what I said. Maybe this is you. Maybe you're this person. And you need to send this to somebody who you feel you have this problem with. But both of y'all got to stop being closed off. Stop being closed off to the issues. Stop being closed off to really understanding each other and just, so-and-so's just really playful and never takes things serious and blah, blah, blah. Apollo is an amazing energy. And like I said, this could be related to something in past life. Maybe this person you're having this issue with, if they're not a child of you now, they were in a life before. And a similar situation happened. And they used being kind of, playgirl, playboy, boyish, girlish vibes to cover their pain. And for whatever reason, it's standing out and reflecting now. The sun is dimming here. It's like the shadow is casting over. And I feel like that's how this person kind of casts over themselves. Like a shadow comes over them. I'm going to try and lighten the video because I want you guys to be able to see the cards. But that's not my personal lighting. I'm letting the sun come through the window. So that shadow it's doing right now, I feel like that's a sign for this message. Let's close this message out. We're going to be using V's deck. Protection, purification, salt. This person doesn't always feel safe. This person does things to give themselves like a false strength, and they use it to depend upon pride or something else, but they need more love than they might say they need. But unfortunately, I feel like sometimes they take love and they act too playful with it, so people don't love them as intensely as they could. That's what I'm saying. There's almost like a playgirl play vibe here, but it may not necessarily be for you who's watching. It might be that they do this with other people, and then they kind of try to hide that version of themselves from you, maybe because it's also tied into some being ashamed. But there's a need to purify the bond, purify the energies here. Can't make it up. Transformation and endings. Those are the two ones that are standing out to me here. There's a transformation is necessary. It's very, very necessary. There's more depth to this connection, to this story, to this overall play out here than what's on the surface. You got to look beyond just the surface. You got to dig deeper. They got to dig deep within themselves. You got to dig deep within yourself. The truth is underneath all the rubble. And look at this last one. A calm circle. A calm circle. Gathering de-stress. You both need better ways to de-stress and come out of lack mentality, come out of the I could end up without, I could be left in the cold. You both need to come out of that energy. Pile 2, this is such a deep, something so deep here that the light got darker. The sun started going down just to confirm darker, something else, something deeper under the surface. So may this help you and this person look deeper than what's just on the top. Yes, they're deceiving or lying about something. There's no heavy ill intent here, but they're definitely not being as open as they could be. But neither are you. So remember, this pile represents a little bit of them, mainly you. Mainly what you should be reflecting on out of what they do. This represents them. This represents the lie. And in your case, both of these piles ended up representing a lot of them. It brought out more of their characteristics. I pray that message gives you the clarity that you need. Peace, love, and light. All right, pile 3. The sun started going down on pile 2 as a part of their message. And while it should have peeked back through the window already, it's still a little down on your reading too. So we're going to see what's going on here. This deck can tend to have a lot of shadow work, you know, and it can tend to have a lot of like the dreamscape applied to it. So we're going to see what's going on when it comes to that. Something about the person that's lying to you. It may have something to do with like dreams, or it may have something to do with shadow work that either you or them may have to dive into. And we're going to piece it together. We're going to figure it out. You could have already had this person in mind, but we're still going to see what descriptions come out for them. Okay. It's just, there's a little more murkiness to your message. All right, pile 3. Who's lying? For the pile 3 collective, who's lying? Who's lying to pile 3? Who's lying? Your message may tie into 2 if you feel the need to watch it. It could. We'll see. There could be something there that you're meant to hear. Now we're getting into the why they lied. Now let's look deeper. The person who lied to you. This person, a lot of times, they tend to be in a lack mentality. They never feel good enough, and sometimes a lot of what is given to them doesn't feel good enough. And what that means is, it's not that people aren't sometimes trying to help. See the stars back here trying to shine on this person, but they refuse to turn around and see the light. That's this individual. It's like people could be encouraging, like, oh, you're amazing, you're this, you're that, and they don't fully acknowledge it. It's always, no, it could be better, no, it could be the da 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 da. It's a lot of hopelessness in this person's energy. I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, enough energy, never enough. You may resonate with pile 2, those of you who chose this pile. This feels like a shadow, a more intense shadow side to that message. So if you felt moved to check out any of the other piles and it happened to be that, check out whichever ones you feel guided to. I just feel moved to let you know that there could be a connection here between the two of something you need to pick up on. But yeah, this person tends to kind of have like a doomsday mentality. It may not always come across so melancholy style. Like sometimes I go, yeah, but this would be a good idea if I had. But if you pay attention to how much they say that if, not enough, you would realize, dang, don't they kind of say that every day? Every day? Sometimes they move too fast on things. This, you might resonate with pile one with this one. Sometimes they move too fast on something. They cut corners in areas that they shouldn't. And it's not that they're not being driven to go in a certain direction. It's just that you can't really expect your movement to have much success for those arrows to hit the mark if you're always thinking that you're depleted. That is, oh yeah, I shot the arrow and I got the bullseye in the eye, but it should have went in the gut. It should have went in the heart. So yeah, I hit a vital point, but it's not the vital point I wanted to hit. Well, sometimes that's because they get so frustrated, they just start firing off. This person could sometimes pop off on people, like just get mean out of nowhere. Any other time, they're like the sweetest soul, and then just randomly there's this meanness, and you're like, why are you being so mean right now? What's the problem? What's the issue here? I'm going to try and brighten this video, but the shadows are here for a reason. Okay, when light just dims like that and it should be coming straight through the window, there's a reason. It's not just, the time of the day. The cloud is covering for a reason. Why did they lie to you though? So we have who they are. Someone that's always kind of like never feeling enough, never feel like what's given to them is enough. They might come off as a complainer, but it's a deeper issue than just that. They can tend to be really quick, really like fast to temper, fast to try to cut a corner, fire off. When something doesn't go successful, instead of like readjusting the aim, they just keep firing. Yes, they have drive. Yes, they're driven, but they're not paying attention to where they are directed really. It's more so just the feeling of the drive instead of, okay, but where am I going and why? Why do they lie to you? We have the Eight of Swords energy here. This person creates their own prison with that I'm not enough energy. They're literally putting the bars in their own cell. It's almost like they kind of want you to be trapped in there with them, or they want you to, or they want you to sympathize so much that you keep pouring into them. You keep trying to build their foundation. You keep trying to help them extend their branches. But every time you do it, it depletes you and they're right back at square one. I don't have enough. It's not enough. It's never enough. It's never going to be enough. They're pulling and pulling and pulling. This person could be family to you because this energy's coming back again about like a house not quite being a home. But this time I'm hearing a heart is not a home. And there's a song that has those lyrics. And that's channeling in. That message is important for someone. It's like, for all the love that they want, they don't give a proper measure. They imprisonate themselves. And there's almost this need to imprison you in that same faulty foundation. Because as long as there's someone here, it's like misery loves company. I tell y'all all the time. And I really hope that you guys take this wisdom for what it really is. Misery loves company, but it doesn't love itself as company. I'm going to say that again. Misery loves company. It doesn't love itself as company, at least not for too long. That's why miserable people lash onto happy people. And when other miserable people kind of get around them and square off with them and join their little clique, they instantly both have to find somebody else to tag team. They have to find somebody else that's happy, that's more together, more structured, and they have to come in and start peeling away, taking away at that structure. Now, for some of you, this could be financially, but for most, I feel like it's something to do with the roots, with rooted energy, with family, with bonds, something that's deeply rooted. And it's like, I don't have that the way you have it. So I lied to you to chip your walls. If I got to be a prisoner here, you got to be a prisoner here too. It's not, for some of you, this is one of those moments where I get a split group a little bit. For some of you, the person doesn't do this completely intentionally. When I say completely, yes, they want you there. Yes, they kind of want you locked up in the cell with them. not necessarily for you to be miserable, but it's like they don't notice. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine being around a person that calls themselves stupid all the time and you love them intensely, and it's like, why do you keep saying these effed up things about yourself? Or being around a person that has like all this abundance, but they're this, like the stars are shining on this person and they got all these, like, you know, but they still feel like all the coins in their pocket are non-existent. They feel like they're full of holes, like they just bleed out, they just leak out. And it's like, no, you look at the light shining on you. Look at all the opportunities that you have. And they just don't see it. Or they run from them. When they fire a shot and it doesn't go in the way they wanted to, they send rapid fire. When the rapid fire doesn't work, they give up. I give up. I'm done. But they'll lie to you and act like it's something else. You know, I'm not succeeding because of someone else, because of something else. That's why I'm not getting ahead. No, they're not getting ahead because they're putting the bars in their own concrete jail cell. The house is not a home. The heart is not a home. There's instability here. We have King of Pentacles. Look at that, support. This is somebody who supports and provides. The third row tends to represent the person being lied to, but it has reflections of the liar. And what that means is something you're doing, something you're thinking, feeling vibrationally or otherwise, gives space for this person to even pull the wool over the eyes or to even make the attempt of what they do. You know, people gonna do, you know, you can't control what someone's thinking, but what you allow becomes the burden you bear. So if this person is someone really close to you, deeply rooted to you, they get deep under your skin when they do certain things. When they go through a mode of depression, when they come in and try to make you depressed too. Like a person who you're talking about your dreams, you're talking about the movement, and remember what I said about the dreamscape? You're talking about things that you want to achieve and that you have the resources to achieve, and they just shit on it. They try to make it seem like it's not that bad, but that's what they're doing. And like, but you know, doing that's like winning the lottery. It's like a 1 in a million chance that you'll pull that off. Oh yeah, you're so talented and you're really good at providing and you're good at building strong foundations, but you know, you really can't do that without this, or you can't leave this person behind. Like, let's say you have family members you don't want to deal with. They're like, yeah, but I mean, that's family, you should blah blah blah, but it's all to keep you somewhat stuck. The lie is the cage itself, is what I'm saying here. The lie is pretending that this house, that this faulty structure is a home, and planting roots so deep that it feels like it's more than what it is. But in reality, just like you got the means, they got the means. And this isn't just about money. This is being resourceful. Just like you can be resourceful, they can be resourceful. And it would be great if y'all were helping each other out. But there's this like laziness that they have. Like I'm in a mentality of lack, so that makes me lazy, so that makes me not want to put too much effort in. And if I do put effort in and it doesn't work out, I get mad, and then when it still don't work out, I just give it up. 8 of Swords. This person might guilt trip you on occasion. Their lies or the thing that they're not truthful about within themselves makes them guilt trip you. And that's why I'm saying they could be family. This could be a spouse to somebody, even someone who feels entitled to make you think that you have to be in the bed of trouble together, in the bed of misery together, if that makes sense. Okay? But you're done with that. You don't want to keep participating with that. They try so hard to make you feel like you should go over the edge. And it's not always intentional. It's like a wiring. It's like their default, you know? I feel like if you pointed this out to them, they might feel more so, not attacked. Well, some might feel attacked, but like, I don't know what you mean. That's not what I'm doing. And it's like, it is what you're doing. You literally say something depressing every day. Every time a dream is mentioned to you, you act like you're a bird stuck in the dang cage all the time. It's pushing me to the edge. An edge, think of this like a mix between being pushed to the edge and for some of you like the Explorer card, aka, well, the Major Explorer, which is the Fool, right? The Fool is adventurous, loves new beginnings, loves discovering things, is willing to leap into something. Sometimes they don't pay attention. Sometimes that works in their favor, sometimes it don't. But the fool can also be a foolish person who does foolish things, and it doesn't bear sweet fruit. And that's a bit of what's going on here. It's like you're the person being pushed to the edge and you're barely keeping yourself from falling over, which might involve cutting this person loose or snapping on them. They're more so the fool that keeps tempting you and tempting you and tempting you. But you're their support system. Mentally, physically, or spiritually, you're their support system. So there could be also something that they do that you enable them with, and that's something you have to be honest with yourself about, should that be happening. Pile 3, you may resonate with the other 2 piles if you feel moved to watch them. There could be something there for you. There's a tight like family bond, or deep-rooted issues, like they lie to you because they got deep-rooted issues. And you're the person that kind of like maybe tolerates space to hear it over and over again, or to try to help them deal with it. But they got to want your help. They got to want that help, or at the very least allow some type of space for it. It can't just be, I'm giving to you, I'm giving to you. Oh, great. Now we're locked in the cell together. I keep seeing a bird cage. It's like, but this house is not a home. Like over and over, this house is not a home. This heart is not a home. Now I'm hearing, a heart is a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to break a heart. Like someone's heart is constantly breaking. Someone is being made to feel like a place that's really just a building is a home, and it's not. It's more like an insane asylum. Let's go a little deeper. 9 of Cups. 8 of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. By the way, guys, the name of this deck is the Textured Tarot. For those who are really moved by the imagery here. This 9 of Cups, the overindulging. Sometimes you might overindulge this person. This person's this is falling right on who they are. There's someone who might always wish, and then overindulge in all the things that they should be trying to receive, and therefore never really receiving or accepting it. It feels like a taker, in other words. What's another way I can word that might sound a bit more in flow? It's okay. They go to the bar, they drink and drink and drink and drink and drink, but they ain't got the money to pay. They just keep drinking, keep putting it on this invisible tab, filling themselves up with bullshit. And in their case, the bullshit is their lie. The I'm not good enough. What I do ain't good enough. People give to me, but they could give more. What they give isn't enough. That self-debilitating energy, that rushing into things when they need to calm down, feeling driven, feeling the drive, having all these wishes and things they want to bring into fruition, but never actually investing. Do one thing, it goes to shits, they get mad, they fire off, or they just try to do the same thing that just went wrong over and over and over again. So therefore the same result happens, and then they just give up. Just go, I'm done. Always wanting to seem like the life of a party, but they're not. Like they can't even bring the party, but they think they're the life of the party. Sometimes doing things to kind of show off to people too. Okay, with that 8 of Swords, the prison of their own making, and kind of like the wanting to hold you hostage in a deep-rooted, like this feels, it's not vengeful, but it's like entitlement. Like I'm entitled to make you feel like you have to stay here. But don't you get miserable, because the moment you get miserable, I'm going to be like, hey, my problems supersede yours. You get what I mean? There's a need to elevate up out of this energy. Practice makes perfect, but this person doesn't put in the right practice. You, however, you do work on yourself. You do dive deep. Yes, there's some things here that you need to reflect on, but for the most part, you dive deep. You harness your capabilities. You put the things you learn into practice, and that rubs them the wrong way. For some of you, it's not like they really want to be rubbed the wrong way. It's almost like it happens in their subconscious, but that's no excuse. Once it's recognized, once it's seen, once it's pointed out, they got to take the initiative to change that. Just like you have to take the initiative to not tolerate that. Both of you have this capability, though. Both of you are really talented and could come together or even as individuals, and it'd be great. You could shine, you could be bright, but it's like, no, I don't want you perfecting like that. I don't want that. And remember, this row represents who's lied to, with a little bit of hints as to the person who is also lying. All the things I pointed out before. You're someone you're really good at being supportive. You're really good at helping someone have a strong foundation. Well, you can't do that if you allow this person to F up your personal foundation for yourself. You can't say, hey guys, come stay on my land. Oh, there's sinkholes everywhere, by the way. Because I'm hollow inside now. I've let this person hollow me out. You understand? That might sound kind of like heavy. But I need you to get it, because I'm feeling your heavy. I'm feeling this situation's heaviness. There is nothing light here. The sun has not shined back through my window yet. That's probably why they didn't want me to have like a bigger, brighter light on. Okay, I'm going to try and lighten the video so that you guys can like see the cars and stuff properly. But listen, they push you to the edge all the time. Like, just almost like they taunt you there. And you right at the tip of it. Meanwhile, things that they should leap into, things that they should have faith about, they don't. They just keep doing foolish things. You play foolish games, you get foolish prizes. You get what I'm saying? They're like the birds that are flying around you just waiting for you to fall. Like, yeah, do it. But the moment you do it, it's going to be, oh my gosh, I can't believe you fell. Oh no. Why? There's a lot of emotional trauma here, to be quite honest. You're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed. You're meant to have this new loving start, this new emotional fulfillment, a renewal, a refreshment. This is like being refreshed, not drinking. Intoxication. I can't focus, drowning. No, you're meant to have this, so much love, so much creativity, just bursting free, all these new beginnings. I feel refreshed. I never feel empty. But this person's trying to hollow you out. For some of you, it's intentionally. For some of you, it's they're on their default. Maybe nobody's ever pointed that ish out to them before. Let's get deeper into their problem. We're using the What the F is the Problem by Fire Witch Tarot deck. What's their problem? Let's dive deeper into their problem. They're not being humble. And people take the word humble for all other kinds of ish. Like, it's like people don't realize how one word can have a lot of layers or whatever. But humbled isn't saying you're somebody's slave. You're not bowing to someone because they're greater than you. You take time to see the grace in the other individual. And you grant them your grace. Some cultures, they don't bow too much at all. They join their hands together, they nod their head. But that nod is still like it's like paying homage to, I see the God in you. I see the goddess in you. I am honored to be in your presence as you are honored to be in my presence. We honor each other. This person doesn't honor themselves, so how can they honor another? People give them things, they're not grateful for it. Because they always feel like, yeah, I could have had, but, there's always a but, there's always a yet. And some people do this when they're just kind of like in a bit of a depleted energy, but they don't mean no harm. This person does it too much. It's like every day. And it's starting to make them a certain way. We have, was that shit really necessary? And look at where that falls. Was that shit really necessary? Is it really necessary to keep putting themselves in this cage and then wanting you to keep them company? But get offended if you get miserable too? Get offended if you start feeling hollowed out? They dug the space, they built the concrete walls, then they put each and every single one of them bars there and said, I can't get out. Got the key in their hand. I don't know where it is. That's the vibe, right? But they're so talented, and you're so talented. Everybody in this reading is gifted with something. So there's really no excuse for this. But when they see you tapped in, purging your pains, getting rid of it, they feel this need to make you feel rooted in it again. Yeah, see, there's too much that's why I said murkiness. There's too much murkiness. There's too much smoke. There's no smoke in my house right now, but the metal, you might have heard it, the smoke alarms were trying to go off. like alarms, like something is trying to peep you to what's going on here, because it's a little more alarming than it may seem, or a lot more alarming for some of you than it may seem. We have practice self-love. I'm done. This is where you're supposed to be. This is where they're supposed to be. Not, maybe not together, but even like as individuals, they're supposed to be going through a renewal, accepting in new love, accepting in all this jazz. And no, instead there's this emotional overwhelming, too much, it's too wet, too hot, too spicy, it's too much, right? Self-love is needed to be practiced by both of you. You can't keep giving to, I don't care how good you are with building foundations and connections. You can't keep giving to this person if all they're doing is hollowing you out. Do you understand? And at the same time, this person can't keep surviving like this. This is not a way to live. Let's get the last of your message. We're going to be using V's deck, and then we're going to call it for you, Pal 3. Each one of these readings are cleansed and cleared out. And we done had a couple of repeats here, as well as just the vibration carrying through. We've got Black Flame Candle, Resurrection, Legend. This person just, it's like bring up the same problem, bring up the same problem, bring up the same, murky. Didn't I just tell you that? Like, I hope you guys heard it, just so y'all can see how this aligned. The smoke alarm almost went off. It tends to do that sometimes, even when there's no smoke, right? It just so happens to do that right at this moment when I'm telling you that this is a reading with a lot of murky water, a lot of muddy water, can't see clear. Now you get the Black Flame Candle. The lighting in here, to me, I don't know, I'm going to try to lighten it, but it's looking even darker than it did before when I started, and I turned lights on. Like, no good. No good. Then we have Full Moon. Then if this person keeps themselves in that cage and they never let that light shine on them, they never allow themselves to see the light in the darkness, and they pull you down, you're not living in the richness that you could be. You are meant to be the light of the moon, be the light of the sun, not be hidden and covered over by clouds. There are secrets here that can be very harmful. This person, whether they mean well or not, for some of you, this person knows what they're doing. Damage is the goal for some of these people. It's like, be damaged like I am, because then I can relate to you and then we can connect. Trauma bonding is never a good thing. I don't care who you talked to before. I don't care if you've said it on occasion. I'm going to be blunt with you. And it's out of love, because you need to realize trauma bonding is never a good thing. We have so many effed up traditions that come out of bonding over trauma. So many phrases that are actually heartbreaking for people. So many terms that are so loosely used with no respect to the pain that they're rooted in. And then we have words that don't mean anything bad at all, that people just take and throw in to mean something bad. And then that becomes a problem, and then people bond over it. Like, oh, it's our way of bonding. Let's bond over this slur that was given. Let's bond over this. No, never a good thing. And it never truly allows you to heal. You're not somehow building a better fortress, because I'm going to tell you something. Because somebody here might get called a word they don't like, because this is channeling for a reason. And even if you know how people say, well, if we're from the same culture, then we can say it and it's fine. No, I'm going to tell you why. If you're so upset when someone else says it, whether it's a joke, whether they're serious, whatever, then you didn't heal from it. You didn't heal from it. If when a person says, bitch, you get offended, like, look, it's not a term that I personally like. But there are friends that I know that talk like that. And they really don't mean nothing by it. It's their humor. It's their whatever. It's not that deep for them. But there are some people, it always got that extra little tone to it. And you might be brushing it off, or they could be brushing it off. And if you find yourself getting offended, you cannot like something, but if you find yourself getting deeply offended, you're more controlled by that phrase than you want to admit. Now, I don't know what the phrase may be in this connection here. It don't have to necessarily be like a racial slur. It could be like You know how people make nicknames for somebody. You know, I'm seeing Janet's face in my head, Janet Jackson. She said there was this nickname that Michael and I think one of her other brothers gave her to like play around, to be teasing, but she actually didn't like it. But she knew they was just teasing. It's like, but if it bothers you and you don't tell nobody, or you did and the person just does it anyway, it's not healing you. And if it's something both of y'all tend to be called as a joke, but it bothers both of you, that trauma bonding's never a good thing. Do you know how many people ended up in abusive relationships because they were trauma bonding? Oh, me and him both had abusive families. It's okay. We bond over the trauma. Come to find out, one of y'all carried the traits and the other didn't. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody here needed to hear that just like that. We got 555. This card came out before. Rejection. Someone doesn't look, I'm going to end it like this. Misery loves company. It doesn't love itself for company, especially not for long. This person can dig you out and leave you bare. And for some of you, this might be a person who doesn't mean to do or say the things they do and say, but you got to call them out. There needs to be a discussion. If that cannot happen, if that's not reciprocated correctly, then you have to move along and they're going to have to move around. It's just that simple. These waters are too murky. You can't drink from this. You need to have this Ace of Cups. You need to be renewed. You need to be restored. You can't keep drinking from poison and expecting to heal. Some people don't adapt. Some people can take in little drops of poison at a time until they adapt. And that shouldn't even have to be a thing, is the point, right? But some people can do that. Some cannot. Some slowly deteriorate themselves. Toxic is never good. People brag about toxic traits. That's never a good thing. Toxins can kill you. This person, the way that they're treating themselves, it's like they're hollowing themselves out. What do you think happens when a person's hollowed out like that? What do you think they become? Now, you may not mimic that, but like I said, this pile can represent a mix between you and them, but it mainly represents the person being lied to. Somebody who's really supportive and is being pushed far too much to the edge, drained way too much. You're tapping out the resources here. They're tapping out you as a resource. You're the resource and they're tapping you out. And you need to replenish yourself. You need to build yourself back up. And that's getting real hard to do by allowing this person to keep having the space and the getaway that they have had. So for those of you where maybe this person is just like really deep depression, it's just something mental, there's help that they need to get for this. Spiritual therapy, mental therapy, they need all of it. You got to be cautious and careful because this could be someone's. For those of you who resonate with Pile 2, this could be someone really, really, really close to you. I'm not going to dive into it. If you feel moved to watch it, watch it. For those of you where this is Pile 1, you might have to cut this loss and wish them the best. The decision rests with you, though. Nobody can tell you what to do. I'm just the messenger. Okay? Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul. May this have given you the clarity and the guidance you needed.
Get your copy of Love Confession Cyber Edition. Link in bio.